Hi, welcome to my channel. We are going to be doing a makeup try on. It is not a Sunday morning for a change. It is actually a Friday night, and I am going to be headed to the club with some of my club members. So I'm looking for a little bit of a party look, but I'm not entirely sure what we're going to end up with here because we are also trying out some samples. Yeah, I've got quite a collection spread out in front of me. The first thing I'm going to open up though is this 111 Skin Y Theorem Repair Serum. I got this as a $3 add-on in my most recent Ipsy, mainly because it is so stupidly expensive that I just could not resist testing it out. So, obviously I don't know how well it's going to work based on just one try, but we're at least going to see what the first impressions are. Fortunately, it doesn't smell like anything. It does feel a little... It doesn't feel like a gel, but it also doesn't feel like a serum. It's got sort of a thick and slightly... not gritty, but there's something in here. It is 0 scent, which is a plus, but I don't enjoy the texture. It's gonna have to work some serious magic to convince me to, well, obviously I'm not buying anything for $300 a bottle, but it would have to do some serious magic just to convince me that I enjoyed putting it on, notwithstanding the price. It has not soaked in quite as quickly as some of my other serums. And it's still very slightly tacky. I think I'm going to hit pause and give this just another minute or two to soak in, and then we will come back and get rolling on the rest of this look. Okay, so it took quite a bit longer than I thought it would take to finish soaking in and sort of unsticky itself. However, it does feel nice and smooth now that it's on. However, it has made my skin feel a little tight in places, like I am now desperately in need of some moisturizer. Fortunately, I do have a, I completely lost my train of thought. But fortunately, I do have a moisturizer I like that I typically wear under my makeup. And this is nothing fancy. This is Olay. It is a firming night cream. And I find it works really well under my makeup to smooth things out and firm up my skin a little bit, give it a little extra moisture, and really sort of improve the wear. I used to get a lot of sort of dry flakiness, especially if my makeup was on for a long time or if I was wearing something particularly drawing. This takes care of that. So, having done that, this is going to soak in really quickly. So I am going to go to a primer. I thought about putting on my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. And I've been using this periodically. You can see that there's quite a little hole working through the middle of this primer. But I might be the only person in the world who is not really thrilled with it. So instead, I think I'm going to go to my drugstore primer. I usually use the Maybelline Master Prime 50. That is a hydrating primer. This is the 100. It is a blurring primer. But for the price, I mean, it is really nice. I like the feel of it. It's moisturizing. It does have a nice blurring effect. The 50 has a nice moisturizing effect, so I'm happy enough. And I do like putting a primer on before I go out if I expect my makeup to have to last for a long time. Even if I'm, just doing like a BB or CC cream instead of a full-on foundation. Because I just think it gives it that little extra dose of longevity. Okay, so that is the base layer, basically. And then I am going to go with a BB cream tonight. I have been trying this L'Oreal Magic Skin Beautifier BB cream. And of course, this is the fair pale color because I'm a ghost. I like the look this gives me. I do not actually like the product. I find that it's kind of rough and gritty, and the texture's really funky, and when you put it on, it looks sort of like white paint. Having said that, I like the finish well enough. I'll probably, use it up, but I will not be buying more. So this is what you get when it comes out. It's sort of a white, runny, gritty little paste. And you can hear that it's, just a little squirt bottle here. Or at least I think you can hear. I don't know how good my sound is on this particular video yet. I swear it has been so long since I have filmed one of these videos. I have essentially forgotten all the setup and settings, and yeah, I suppose taking a 3 or 4 week long break will do that to you, but I'm hoping for the best here. Okay, so here is the look. It does, the primer does have a nice blurring effect. The BB cream has really evened things out. I think it's a nice finish. It's kind of dewy without being really oily or greasy. However, I mean, I gotta tell you, I'm 38. Yes, 38 now. I had to think about that for a second. So despite the fact I'm going with a BB cream rather than a full-on foundation, I am still going to pop some concealer on this, especially under the eyes. And I do have a little birthmark around the nose that I like to put some concealer on. And I have been using this Julep Cushion Complexion as a concealer. It might be my favorite concealer product ever. So I'm a little disappointed that Julep still seems to be a hot mess. The worst thing about this, I think, is the applicator. I think the little spongy tips get a little too gross at times. However, since I've already gone through 1 tube of this, it is already clear it is not going to last forever and ever. So I'm willing to, live with that. And I do often use a beauty blender to tap this in, but they all need washed at the moment, and I'm sort of in a lazy mood. I had to get up at dark 30 to start work today. Okay, so here is the concealer on, and I'm going to go ahead and set that. I have been using some Cover FX powder that I really enjoy, but for today I think I am going to use some of this Ciat of London Extraordinary Setting Powder. I've used about half of this. I got it in my FabFitFun box. I do like the finish, and I like how it makes my skin feel, but it's got a little bit more flashback than I like for any day where I might be taking pictures. But since I'm going to be bouncing around in a dark club, I think we're going to be pretty safe here. And it is essentially a white powder. It's not exactly translucent, but if you blend it out, it does blend in very nicely. If you do not blend it out, you get a white cast over everything. So user error is sometimes a factor, especially when I'm doing this very, very early in the morning or when I'm half awake. I think its really best feature is it, so far at least, and I'm halfway through this, it does not really settle into lines at all, so it does conceal a lot of sins. So I won't say I dislike it, but I dislike it if I'm taking a lot of pictures. It is what it is. I have completely forgotten what I was about to say, but looking in the camera, I think it is time to put on brows because I look a little weird to me. I am still going to go with my usual AOA Miss A caramel colored brow pencil for a whopping $1. It's not super impressive, but it does the job just as well as I could ask. And so that my eyebrows look sort of matchy and straight, I am going to be leaning into the big mirror off camera, and when I rejoin you, I will have eyebrows. Okay, I am back and I have eyebrows now, so I think it is time to move on to some blush. Since I'm going for a sparkly, sparkly look tonight, I think I'm going to go for this sparkly, sparkly brush. This is by Pretties for Your Face. I actually got it in a mystery box I ordered from them just after the first of the year. I would like it a lot better if it was in a usable container. I think it was supposed to go in a Z palette, except it is glued on here so hard I could not pry this thing off. So unless I wanted to like completely tear this box to shreds and just have a loose palette floating around with a ton of glue and paper stuck on the back, I figured it was probably best to leave it in its cardboard case, but it's super messy and annoying this way, so I like it, but I don't use it that much. However, it is very pink, which I love, and very glittery, which I love way more than is age appropriate. And you can see how just a little swipe with the brush has really pinked up my cheeks. And let me get in here kind of close, and you can see that it's got a lot of shimmer where it catches the light. It really is a gorgeous blush. I just hate how it came packaged. And despite the fact I probably do not need any more shimmer at all, I am going to put some highlighter on top of this. I think I'm going to put some purple accents on this look because our club colors is... well, our club color, I guess, is purple, and I'll be wearing my purple, club shirt. So I'm going to go with a purple highlighter. This is from the ColourPop Villains collection. This is Ursula, and I have used this before. It is not a first impression, but it is one I like. I actually am going to hit pause while I see why the dogs are going crazy. Okay, so I have a little free library that I installed in my front yard, and the dogs are not yet used to people browsing the library, so I had a chorus of crazy barking going on. Back to what I was saying, I really do enjoy these ColourPop highlighters, and I have used this purple one once before. I was torn between this one and my favoritist ColourPop highlighter, but I will show you that one on a different video because I am going to go for purple. And these are very soft and creamy, and there's no overspray on them, so basically you touch them and you come away with, yeah, you can see how shiny that is. And I am just going to put a little extra shiny on the cheekbones right over my glittery blush. Because if I show up in strobe lights in the dark, whatever. Now you can see there's that little extra pop of purple there, and of course it is high shine because ColourPop highlighter. I actually got some other Villains items that I will show you in, I guess, a future video because this one is already getting long and I am not done putting my makeup on yet. What do I want to do next? Well, I think I'm going to put on an eye look, except I failed to grab any eyeshadow, so let me take care of that really quick. Okay, we are going to go with a combination of eyeshadows just to go with something colorful and just as sparkly as the cheeks at the moment. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is use my Urban Decay Elements palette. I'm not wild about a lot of the Urban Decay palettes. I think they've gotten very neutral, and if you know me, you know I like that little pop of color, but I do like this palette. I have swatched it, I believe, in a video, maybe not, but it's still got a lot of good colors and a lot of sparkle in it. But the first thing I'm going to do is use the Antidote color because it is a nice neutral base. And I want to make sure I can get lots of blending and smudging, and sometimes my eyeshadow primer grabs so strongly that that makes it a little challenging, so I usually go in with a nice neutral shadow as a base to let everything, grip onto it and stand out and, cover up any imperfections going on up there. And then the next thing I'm going to do is use this Hex Remedy color. Yeah, you can see my mess in the mirror here. And do the corners. This is a dark purple glittery color. Now, if you're wondering, I do own eyeshadow brushes. I am perfectly capable of using them, but I know what I'm going to use next, and so some finger application that blends everything together in a nice little smudgy way is going to work really well for the look I'm going for. but it does take a little extra building when you go in with your finger. This palette does have some nice colors, but they are not always the most pigmented at first blush. So that is what we have going on here with just the outer corner in that dark purple. There's probably a little cleanup that needs to be done, but that will come in time. I promise I usually do not look like a hot mess when I leave, but sometimes the work in progress is definitely a work in progress. I am then going to do a purple glitter in the center. This is also from the Villains collection. I'm not sure what villain it is, but it is one of ColourPop's Jelly Much Shadows. It really is like sticking your finger in jelly and coming away with pigmented glitter. But since it doesn't require glitter glue and it's pretty pigmented without even doing much building, it's kind of awesome. It's also high shine, and so I think it's going to go really well with this super sparkly look I seem to be doing. Here is what you get from just one little pass. It blends very well into that purple outer corner. I am going to do a second layer just to get as much purple in there as possible. But it is really, really glittery just on the first pass. It's just the little extra touch of pigment I like from layering it up. Okay, and now we have the basically inner third left. I am going to put a pop of a pink color. I'm not quite sure what pink color. I think I will stick with the same Urban Decay palette and do a little pop of Dreamweaver. Just like that. And then I'm going to do some white on the very inner corner. Now there is a glittery white in the Urban Decay palette. It's gotten a little messy from other colors being transferred to it, and it's a little more transparent than I would like. You really have to build it to get a white. So I am actually trying this baked eyeshadow from Miss A. I have not tried the white before, but it seems pretty pigmented, and it is also not glitter. I think I probably have ample glitter going on my eyes right now. So I will just pick that up and let it blend in over the pink just a smidge, so you can see that. And the last thing I am going to do is blend where the pink and glitter come together. Just like that. And so you get that gradient from pink to dark purple going on with the white just as a little punch on the inner lid. I am then going to go back in with the Antidote color and sort of clean up the lines a bit. Okay, I've cleaned that up just a smidge to balance it out. I'm going through makeup wipes like nobody's business here. And I am just going to add a little extra pop of pink here because I want this to be a little brighter. I actually think I'm going to add another pop of the purple glitter as well. Okay. And then for good measure, I'm going to put a little more of this in the center. See, that's what comes with being indecisive. You're not quite sure how much color to go with at first, and you end up reapplying here and there. I am overall quite happy with the gradient across the lid. I'm going to do some of that baked white on the brow bone as well. Just like that. I am tempted to smoke out the lower lid, but between the highlighter and the glitter, that seems just very close to overkill. I am, however, going to put some purple eyeliner on. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Liner. It's not my favoriteest liner ever, mainly because I have a hate-hate relationship with this brush. However, I do like the consistency of it, and I like the color of purple, so I'm going to suck it up and try to get a straight line that looks halfway decent with this brush. I'm going to hit pause on this video so I can get in super duper uncomfortably close to the mirror, and I will be back hopefully with some eyeliner. Okay, here we are with just a little purple eyeliner on. I don't know why I can't ever get both eyeliners to go on straight. One always looks good, the other is a hot mess, and it seems to switch eyes, so I don't know what to blame that on. But we will see if some mascara hides that little inconsistency. This is the Butter London Power Up Mascara. I just got this in a sample box, and my first try-on was super nice, so I am going to try it on by itself instead of over the 12 layers of mascara I seemed to be wearing at the time of that unboxing. Okay, it is not like, oh my god, you're wearing falsies good, but it's pretty dang good. You can see how well it has thickened and filled them out here. This is, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat still from when I was sick. This is 2 coats on the upper lashes and 1 coat on the lower lashes. So I am definitely digging this mascara. And then the last thing I have to do is figure out what I'm going to do about a lip color. I think I need something purple, and I don't want to go like fluorescent purple. I actually think I'm going to go with this Clinique lipstick. It is called Plum Pop. I actually just got 4 of these in different colors in a gift with purchase maybe, or a package deal or something from Macy's. And I was super iffy when I ordered them because I don't wear a lot of Clinique makeup anymore, and I used to because that was the only fancy designer high quality makeup you could buy back in the pre-internet days in my small-ish hometown, or you had to go to the department store and see what they had behind the counter. So I used to wear tons and tons of Clinique makeup, foundation and perfume and lipstick and eyeshadow. But I kind of stopped because I found other things, and I tried out the nude color of these. I think it was called Bear Pop, and I had forgotten how much I liked these lipsticks. They are smooth and satiny, and they go on really well, and they're not drying, and they last really long. And quite frankly, a 2-coat blotted lip lasts hours and hours and hours. So I don't know why I stopped using these, except that I wanted something new and better, but I'm really happy to have some more of them. But that is the plum color. Okay, so here is the plum color. I have used my actual lip line, and that never works well for me. I swear one side of my lips is not lip shaped. Also, the fact that I'm trying to talk while I do this is probably not a huge plus. But here is the plum color. I really dig this look. You'll have to let me know down below what you think of it for a night out makeup look. I'm digging it. So from there, I think I'm going to have to do something with my hair. Since I have been too lazy to wash it, I think I'm going to be giving a go with this Perk Up Dry Shampoo. And since I am just clumsy enough to spray the camera, I'm going to be out of frame for that. Okay, the dry shampoo has given some life back to the roots, but oh my god, I hate the smell of that stuff. From there, I am going to run through the ends with some of this Briogeo leave-in conditioner, because I have the tangliest, snarliest hair ever. And so it is going to need a little TLC to make it through the night if I'm not going to pin it up and back and so on and so forth. And then the last thing I'm going to spray in my hair is the Anti-Frizz Shine Laminator from Miss A for $1. Not only does it work on frizz, but it makes your hair smell like coconut for hours. And I find that delicious. So, you know, if you need some coconut scented hair perfume to transport you to a tropical island, this will totally do it for you. And again, for $1. Oh yeah, that does smell delicious. Okay. So here is just the down loose hair and the face of makeup. I will get myself slightly more presentable later with some jewelry and my club shirt. But that is a story for another time. If I get my act together and I'm not running super late, I will get those pictures on Instagram. I will be doing some unboxings coming up, so if you don't want to miss those, go ahead, hit subscribe, come back and see me.